haven't seen it yet, so I can't.
If ever you just start, I don't know, I'm crazy.
Oh boy.
Or let Pikachu talk.
Okay, well, no, you can talk after.
Oh,
First,
it's up. It's up. It's up.
first,
We're
we
live.
all must know that it has been over a month since the AniBrigade has been last seen. Some say we went into a mountain far, far away.
Yes.
Others say we went to train by watching the best hentai and anime around.
Yep.
But the truth is, Pikachu has the answers right now.
Pikachu, take it away.
We are back. Because I want to be with you.
Yes. And that's the story of how the AniBrigade came to
That
be
is how we
on this
return.
day.
In the process of me taking my headsets off. What's up,
Yes.
people?
What is up? Come on, let me hear it, everyone. Come on, AniBrigade. Yeah, come on. Come on. Let me hear it.
Kawaii
Best
desu!
anime podcast around. Come on, people.
Kawaii desu! Anyways, I'm not gonna keep saying that, don't worry.
Memory, take it away, brother.
Yo. What the hell happened? What the hell happened?
Miles disappeared.
Oh, that's gonna screw up the whole layout.
And Discord literally just shut me out.
What are you doing?
I don't know why, but
fuck are you
Discord
doing?
literally just shut me out.
That's okay, just keep going, guys.
Keep going.
Don't worry.
All right. Yeah,
We
you
can
can
see
obviously tell that it's been a month, right? I was having a whole lot of problems with Google Chrome, so yeah, worst browser ever. But we are back, AniBrigade episode 4, and it's really self-explanatory what we're going to be talking about today. You guys see the title. We're going to be talking about the winter anime season of 2018 so far. Now, the last podcast we had, which is kind of funny, we talked about the winter season of anime, but just kind of like our first look at the shows and all that. It wasn't our first impressions because obviously none of the episodes are here yet. But now we've had like 3-4 episodes, actually 5 or 6 episodes for some shows
Most
already.
of them,
yeah, so
five.
we're almost at pretty much at the halfway point, I'd say. So yeah, now's a good time. We're gonna be talking about a lot of our a lot of the shows that we're watching now. Granted, the three of us aren't watching, every single thing. So
Dearly.
yeah, like
On my end, nearly.
yeah.
well, yeah. I mean, I'm watching quite a bit too, but like what I am trying to get at, I guess what I say
No, I
with
know.
that is that like, say Aaron's watching shows that I'm not watching, that he's gonna be able
thank you, Verdi.
he's gonna be able to give certain insight on. And I'm pretty sure what Miles is watching, we're all watching, but there may be some shows I'm watching that maybe you guys haven't watched yet that I'll be able to give insight on. So we're gonna try and cover as many shows as we can.
Yeah, and we're skipping over really shows that really aren't popular. Like we're doing the stuff that everyone's talking about right now, because otherwise this would be 59 minutes, 60 minutes of us just talking about every show. So we're doing the stuff that you probably have heard if you're following a lot of stuff of the winter season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Okay.
just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I haven't seen everything. We've seen a couple shows, each and every one of us, but we can at least provide some insight on each show. At least some.
Yep.
Oh, and Meridian with the $2
Oh, boy.
donation. Let's go!
Oh boy, you better get back to work.
Yeah, don't lose your job because then you'll have to take that $2 back from us. And we'll feel bad.
Yeah.
We'll feel bad. Oh, don't do that. All right. So I wrote out a list of all the shows that we were going to talk about.
Cop, put them in the chat for Miles.
Put them in the chat. Oh, you want in
Yeah.
the regular chat? Okay, I'll put them in the regular chat. I have them in the AniBrigade chat, but
Yeah.
they probably
I
aren't
can't
for
find it
this.
for some reason. That's weird.
That's all right. Here, I'll use this.
All right.
So yeah, well, we're not gonna. Oh, by the way, if you want to follow along, we're not really using Mal per se because we're not going in order. We're trying to go in order of stuff we've seen that we can talk about where people don't go dead silent for like 5 minutes or
Right.
even possibly 15.
Yeah, so it's
Oh.
not in any particular order, really.
Right. But I mean, if you want more details on anything, you can obviously go to Mal, go to the winter 2018 season stuff and find it from there.
Yeah.
But let's start off, I think, with Violet Evergarden.
The
I have the
Violet
first one.
Evergarden.
Now this
Yeah.
is one that I wouldn't say we got into it about, but I know Aaron has some feelings on this show.
Yeah.
I
A few.
like how memory is just like.
A few.
Now, personally, going into, because Violet Evergarden, there was like that little commercial or whatever that was like 30 seconds long. This was like a year ago. Like, it was a while ago. And there's people who read the novels and all that, but it was a pretty dang long time until we actually got it. And I know they had some showing at like Anime Expo or whatever it was.
Was it the first 2 episodes? Or was
Yeah,
it
I think it was.
episode?
I think it was the first episode, maybe the first 2,
Okay.
but it was one of those. And it was probably the most hyped up anime
Oh my god, dude,
for
yeah.
this season, to be completely
Yeah.
honest. So, in the past, I would usually I would see so many people hyping up an anime, and they'd be like, "Oh, I'd hop on the the hype train for them after seeing like the previews and whatnot." But now, as I've went along, and I don't know if you guys are the same way, but I've kind of realized that usually isn't the best way to go, because there's been a lot of shows that I've got really really excited for, and then
Right.
they ended up being maybe they weren't the worst things ever, but most of them were kind of just average in my opinion. I was like, why was this being hyped up again? Like, I don't really get it. But Violet Evergarden's the same way. So I kind of went into Violet Evergarden not really I wasn't.
much?
Yeah. From the people that were saying it was good and all that, it was really hyped up. Like, I wasn't really getting all like that, but I did have some pretty some pretty solid expectations for the series, especially based off the previews and all that. Now, granted, that's you kind of have to take those things with a grain of salt. Like, I knew it was going to be beautifully animated, the music and all that was going to be good.
Right. Which I will say right there is probably one of the biggest strengths of the show.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah, and
the animation and music is
the biggest thing for me was really the story, and so far they're kind of following this episodic type of route with it, where we literally see Violet deal with person from person to person,
right, and they do not to cut you off, they do have some interlocking, you do have elements that Violet shows of things happening to her currently or her advancing as a character, etc. So it's not, it's episodic, but it also has that to make sure you're not like, you can miss an episode and completely be okay, because some shows do that. I hate that crap.
Yeah, like the obvious thing here is the main thing is seeing Violet grow as a person, and compared to where she was at the beginning, which we did have that whole flashback and whatnot, and we know how she used to be, what she's been through and all that, but really the main thing is to follow her and see her grow as a person, and writing these letters and whatnot, and learning to understand people's emotions more. And we are seeing that through side stories, per se, like episodic side stories. So I do like how they're doing that. Like, they have these side stories, but then the whole overarching main thing is Violet and her growing from each of these different instances. So
this show is essentially a drama.
Yeah. I mean, it's. And you know what I really think was the biggest selling point for me for Violet Evergarden was the fact that it is a war anime per se. It is, but it's the aftermath of the war, not the stuff currently happening. Because I mean, a lot of anime you always for example, Zeta, which I can't stand, but that's just thrown out there. Even Yujo Senki, for example, those are stories that take place during war. Yeah. And you're dealing with, they do have drama at times with people getting hurt or injured or even killed off, etc. And with Violet Evergarden, though, you have the end of the war. Some time has passed, and now people are trying to rebuild their lives up from what they've lost.
Mm-hmm.
And that is definitely one of the strengths of the show, is because it's it's very rare, I think. And be honest with you, I can't think of an anime off the top of my head that's done that, where it's the post stuff. It's not during. But for me, because I also agree with you, Violet Evergarden was so hyped that I was kind of scared to go into it. I was thinking, oh my god, it's gonna be one of those shows I'm gonna hype myself up for, because I was hyped for it too.
Yeah.
But I like, and I think it was Nick said, or was it Nick? One of the people said it was a slow burn. No, I'm sorry, it was Mitro. Yeah. Mitro said it was a slow burn. I agree with that. It is a slow burn. I like some of the stories that we have so far. I also feel like some of the stories are meh.
Like, they drag on too.
Right. Yeah. And it's not that it's not that they're it's understandable why they have these stories like that, but at times I'm like, I want to know more about our main character, Violet. I want to see her grow in a certain way, and I feel like they're doing it very slowly, like Mitro said. That's probably the best way to say it, is they're going so slow about it, and they reuse a lot of the lines that she does, like her reasoning for being what is it, the auto mail dolls, which
auto memory doll.
Yeah, they're the ones who write letters for people who can't really write or need I want to say like a grammar specific type of way of writing.
Yeah, or they can't get their
letters.
they can't get their words out themselves.
Right, exactly. You know, she always says that she joined because she wants to know what the emotion of love is, because that was like the last thing her major said to her. And you know, I get that, but hearing it every freaking episode is driving me up a wall, man. I can't hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it from her every episode. So you know, there are things with Violet Evergarden I want to change, but right now it's a good show. It definitely is a good show.
And here's like something like sorry, what were you gonna say, Mouse?
No, I was just gonna be like, for anybody wondering as to why I'm not really talking, I haven't really seen the show. I want to watch it eventually, but I haven't seen the show just yet. So get back to me on that.
don't worry. I mean, this because of the shows and stuff like that. It's understandable missing some things. If I had one thing, I think I wouldn't mind. I hate to say, wouldn't mind missing until later when it's finished. I don't know why, but
here's like I did want to point this out. Mitra already said it. Most of this series so far has been anime original. So
really,
yeah.
I didn't know
I'm pretty
that.
sure
Wow.
the flashback with the major and all that is canon, or like, you know, that follows the source material. And then there's been like a little few scenes that I guess have been from the novel. I think the scene at the end of the newest episode was also following the source material too. But like these stories we've been getting, apparently are anime original for the most part, and that's something that like KyoAni's been known for, is like with a silent voice. There's a lot of original stuff in that film, right? And then there was also, I haven't watched it, but what show was it? It was one of the other shows by KyoAni that was like it was some crazy. It was like 75 to 90% filler or something, but still so many people love that show. I forget which one it was, but
not Beyond the Boundary, right? No,
no, I don't think it's Beyond the Boundary.
I think I know.
Saiga no Phantom World.
No.
Don't people hate Phantom World?
No, there was actually a lot of people that actually enjoyed that.
Really? Someone should probably know it in the chat.
I'm gonna look it up on Mel, but
KyoAni.
Yeah, but pretty much like, they're known for that, and we see that apparently in Violet Evergarden. Now, I don't think any of us have read the source material, but that's a big thing to also note with this season, that most of it is anime original. So, yeah, I don't know if it was Chunibyo that was the one I was thinking of, or
was that by KyoAni?
Yeah.
Chunibyo?
I don't know if it was.
I always forget that myself. They don't feel bad.
Hold on, let me see.
No, I think it's possible.
I think it actually was Chunibyo.
Yeah, because I mean the other ones I know for a fact weren't like that. Yoka definitely wasn't like that. Yoka was. Nichijou was definitely not like that. Kaon, etc. But anyways, continue on, man.
Yeah, but that's pretty much what I was like just getting at. Like, most of this has been anime original, so yeah, I'm not sure if that many people knew that, but most of the Violet Evergarden so far has been original, and I hope they do start to go more into the because that's the thing. That's where a lot of the hype came from, was the novels, and the people who have read the novels still say they like what the story's doing so far. But if that was the reason why this series had so much hype going into, I want to know what that's really all about. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I feel you.
I mean, we touched on Violet Evergarden.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that what Mitra said about Phantom World, that's kind of interesting. Apparently, they made out the series to be lighthearted, while the light novels are actually really messed up. Apparently,
really, that makes me almost want to read the light novels for it. I wonder if the light novels are in America yet.
That's actually kind of interesting.
But yeah, Violet Evergarden so far, solid show, I'd say. Now, would I say the hype? Okay. Would I say the hype is necessarily would I say the hype was necessarily worth it? Not really. We went into this knowing it was going to be beautifully animated. And that's the main thing with the show.
And you know what? I think that's really what makes people like really hyped up for a show in the first place. Yeah, because like, some people immediately think that if a series has good quality animation, like very good,
it's the best
clean quality, then it's gonna be legendary, which is not really the case.
Mm-hmm. No, it's very true.
Because it always boils down to the story and everything else. But
because there's been plenty of shows that have had terrific animation, music, all that, but then the show...
I mean, Aaron, remember what happened to Handshakers and Memory?
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I don't forget that.
I'm just kidding, man.
No, but there are shows like that. Like, I mean, Guilty Crown, you know, terrifically animated, incredible music, but then the characters, the story, just
God, can we just not talk about Guilty Crown?
So there's many shows. There's many shows like that. But Violet Evergarden so far, pretty decent. I'd say I'm liking it. I
agree with that. It's decent. Like you could watch and enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's been some really like emotional, like really heartwarming moments, and then there's also, you know, it's a slower paced series, and you know that's not really everyone's cup of tea. Yeah, that's not really everyone's cup of tea, but I'm liking what we're seeing with Violet so far, like her progression and all that. So yeah, we're gonna move on. We're not gonna talk about, you know, one show for like the whole cast.
Yeah, because otherwise we'd be like for your 9 hours.
We gotta spread the love. We gotta spread the love. So
spread the love.
Next up is Overlord.
Overlord season 2.
By the way, this is where I'm out for the time being.
Overlord season 2. I'm glad to see my boy Irons back.
Oh yeah.
But we actually get focus on some other aspects of the Overlord verse.
Oh yeah.
Like we actually get to see the Lizardmen and all that stuff. That's I find that to be pretty interesting. And I kind of actually like, I know everybody loves Irons, but I really liked how they kind of handled the other aspects of the world, like how the Lizardmen were going up against Irons, so you kind of like get
see another view. Yeah,
you see another whole perspective. Everything.
Yeah, they come to really make you, you know, feel for the Lizardmen, and you know, you actually see like how others view, you know, the supreme one being Ainz, and like just really how much power and how much like authority he has over like, a lot of these smaller races, a lot of these smaller groups in the world. So I
agree.
Here's a question for you guys though: have they actually said why yet he's been in that world, or why he's been transported to the world? Or are they just completely like
why he's in that world in the first place? Yeah, it basically is in the first episode as to why he is.
Oh really? Oh, now I gotta watch. See, I'm by the way, for people who don't understand, like I went and caught up with Overlord season 1. I loved Overlord season 1. It was amazing, but I want to watch it in dub. I know people might hate me for that.
Wait, are you talking about in like the first episode of season 2?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about like in the first episode of season 1.
Well, no, I know like he's he's there. Obviously, I'm just saying per se why he got transported there though.
The game shut down.
The game was shut down. He's logged out of the server. So
listen, man, I've been at the end of game for MMOs before. I've never got transported to a virtual world. I mean, that's kind of
but come on, man, it's anime.
No, I know it's isekai, mainly isekai. But I'm just saying, I want to know like, was there a specific reason he was, you know, the one?
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying, because kind of like how like are there other people like Ainz out there who are
because the first season the first season, and I know from the light novels too, it kind of alludes to like him not being the only one, especially with the ending. I'm not gonna spoil it in case you guys haven't caught up with the whole show, but the ending of the first season where you find out certain things that happened, quote unquote, you know, that were something that shouldn't have happened without someone having more power. I'm thinking there are probably people like him that are still in that game world, but I
can agree on that. We're probably not going to get something like that though.
No, probably not. I doubt it. I just was curious if they did though,
because I know the light novels are pretty extensive. So
Alder Nation, what anime is it real? No, anime is not real. Sometimes people think it is real though. A little too much.
My waifus.
I love my wife. They're great.
But yeah, Overlord season 2. I must say, I like the arc we had with the Lizardmen. With the newest episode, it actually just wrapped up.
Yeah,
they might have some kind of epilogue thing in the next episode. Probably not, because they're already putting out promotional work for the next arc. I think it's called like the Kingdom arc or something along those lines.
Kingdom.
But yeah, I loved Zaryusu. I loved Krush. The relationship between those two, that was really cool to see. In they do make you feel pretty bad for the Lizardmen, but in all reality, it didn't end up too bad for them. I'd say like it could have been a lot worse, to be completely honest. You know, Zaryusu is back, and even though, as we saw, his speech and just the way he is kind of like off, and who knows how long it's going to stay like that. I've heard for a while it stays like that. I don't know if that's true, but yeah, so far Overlord season 2 has been pretty good. It takes a different route, different approach than season 1 did, and I'm excited for what this other arc's going to do. I don't know if the rest of this season is going to be focused on this Kingdom arc or whatever, if it's longer than the Lizardmen arc, but I'm excited because if you guys have took any note of the visuals in the opening. It seems like we're gonna be getting some pretty crazy stuff, like Demiurge is fighting Ainz. I'm just like, why is Demiurge fighting Ainz? Like, yeah, there's like a lot of stuff going on in the opening.
Yeah, it makes you question if the whole thing is gonna happen, something similar to what.
Like, we're still looking for the person that possessed Shaltir.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know if they're gonna
might actually be in that world.
I don't know if they're gonna dive into that more with this, you know, the second half of season 2, but we'll see. Overlord, though.
I need my boy Sebastian to pop up, though.
Yeah.
Yo, my boy Sebastian. Yeah.
You see him duking it out with someone in the opening.
Yeah, we need to get more Sebastian.
That was another thing. I'm glad you mentioned that, actually.
Yeah, Kokkuku.
Yeah,
I'm glad we got some Kokkuku.
Yeah, he got some shine. He got some shine.
Is that the guy who like
the ice
insect? Just call him that ice insect.
Yeah, whatever the hell he is.
Ice mantis or something.
But yeah, Overlord season 2. What would you guys say, or Miles? What would you say compared to season 1? Like, did you have more enjoyment over, say, so far over this season compared to season 1, or what? Or is it kind of just like the same?
I think it's kind of like the same.
I would say that's what I would say, to be completely honest.
But like, I'm really liking on how season 2 is turning out, especially with the whole different sort of perspectives with characters in the Overlord series. Like, honestly, I know some people might have a problem with that because a lot of people like Ainz, but I would like to see more of that.
No, I kind of agree. Like, as much as I love Ainz, he was the center of the first season, which is understandable.
Yeah,
but
and he really hasn't been focused on too much.
No one else gets really getting screen time. You know what's funny is, I don't know if you guys saw it, the OVA for, well, not the OVA, but it's like special shorts for
the chibi ones or whatever they are.
The chibi ones, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny is that actually gives more information than the whole show for half the characters that like they made and all that. And it's crazy because it's so stupid, but it's so funny. And that's all, you know, when I saw that, I was like, you know what? Why did they do this more often with the first season? They should have had moments where the other characters kind of get some screen time more than 2 seconds. You know? So I'm happy to hear about that. I'm actually looking forward to that.
Ali said if you want Sebas, that you're not going to be disappointed.
Good. I won't be disappointed.
I'm pretty hyped. I'm pretty hyped for you know, the rest of this second season in general. So,
hell
yeah. Overlord, kind of the same old good stuff coming out of that.
That's a good thing to hear.
Yeah. What's the next one we have?
Darling in the Franxx, which I know you should be very hyped.
Go ahead, take it
away. You went straight to me, but I don't blame you guys. But the collaboration, of course, between Trigger and A1, which
godly in terms of
so far, A1 has been credited.
God awful. No,
I'm pretty sure.
Nate just throws his headsets off and just leaves.
I'm pretty sure, but Micho could probably quote me on this if I'm wrong. But I think A1 has been credited for every episode except for episode 4. Was it? So, you know.
Okay.
Really, it's been A1 majority of these episodes to this point, and I must say I like what they're doing with Darling in the Franxx. My most anticipated for this season, just because it's the collaboration Trigger on it, of course, mecha show, 2D, you know, none of like the 3D garbage that we get sometimes with that. Sorry, but
no, that's true.
Yeah, I'm just more of a fan. I'm just more of a fan of 2D, you know. Animation with mecha and all that. So
you could do cool shit with it. That's the thing. Like 2D, I think people forget that 2D can be done. You can make action scenes great with 2D. I mean, look at half of the anime in general. But you know, I'm agreeing with you. Darling in the Franxx right now as a mecha is actually pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I want to point out something though, folks. If you are a fan of Trigger, if you've seen anything by Trigger,
it's goofy. It's wacky.
Besides even that, though, you should not be surprised at the way these pilots are piloting one another.
Yeah.
Okay? This is not new to Trigger. Trigger does weird shit with everything they make. Case in point, Space Patrol Lulico. Look at that. That girl turned into a gun. Okay?
Yeah.
Are you really like complaining that they're riding people from behind? Listen, it's not first off.
Did you watch Kill la Kill? Did you watch Kill la Kill? Did you watch Gurren Lagann? Like, come on, man.
Exactly. So I would love for people to stop saying that's the reason why they can't quote unquote watch the show. It's it's just anime. It's just relax.
Like I agree with Tribo. Like the designs of the mechs are so clean. I was saying that before it even came out.
I love them. They're actually really cool.
Yeah.
Like
they really are cool.
They're each unique in their own design. I like that. I like how they can talk. Now I haven't watched I think it's Star Driver that these mechs like really remind me of, because I've saw the designs for like a lot of mech shows, and these ones really remind me of like Star Driver. I don't know if you guys have saw anything from that show, but when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, this looks like something out of like, looks like something out of like Star Driver." But yeah, I love what they're doing with Darling in the Franxx. I love 02, and something I noticed, and I brought this up in my newest video for Darling in the Franxx, and I kind of wanted to talk about this, but like. I don't know, like it feels like with 02 and Hero, like them, with them coming together and all that, like it's allowing the others to open up more and become more free, because as we saw at the beginning of the series, and this is something like that I just picked up, I just noticed it out of nowhere really, because it's something they don't really address, but if you notice, the boys eat together alone separately, and the girls eat alone separately together. Like they're never together.
They're separate.
Yeah, well, right. So they're separated,
like,
but listen. When 02
I'm listening.
When 02 and Hero,
this theory is from Reddit, by the way.
When 0 and no, listen. It's not a theory. I actually picked, like, I know. I'm just saying. I bet other people have saw this or picked up on it maybe too. That's why I'm asking if you guys noticed. But like the boys, and I think it's like episode 2 or episode 1. They're sitting at one table. The boys, the girls at another table. 02 and Hero, as we see them progress and actually pilot together and work together, and they're always together and all that, we see, I think in episode 5 it was, or episode 4, or no, it was the newest episode, they're actually all sitting at the table together, and the one boy, the fatter dude or whatever, he's sitting at the end of the table by the girls, away from the boys. So it's just like something that I kind of noticed. I don't know if other people picked up on that as well, but I don't know if that's just like an underlying theme or kind of topic they're trying to touch on. But
you're absolutely right about that, especially with the latest episode, I should say, where they're talking about kissing, quote unquote, and it's not them kissing, but it's the ships they're on, right? The plantations they're on, where they link together, they call them kissing, and you see how weird these people react to it. It's like, kissing? Oh, I know all about kissing, and when they're talking about, they're not talking about the actual concept of it. They're talking about what the plantations are doing. But what made that interesting was because that's the revelation right there, where they're so separated that they don't even know about kissing. They don't know anything about relationships. And in many ways, if you want to even add to it, the fact that they are quote unquote riding behind each other when they're doing them in the mechs, it's a very interesting thought, because you're like, wait a second, that's kind of a dominant. I want to say the domineering, I believe the word I'm looking for, where you have the guy behind the girl like that, and that's usually why some people see it that way. But I think there's a point for that, where you see these characters so outlandish with their thoughts about relationships and all, and even with the concept, the last part, with saying the adults apparently aren't with the groups anymore. There's a lot of things that are very interesting.
And then the one group of fighters from like the other plantation are like, oh, they don't know about that yet, like they're whispering to each other.
And that's
so there's like there's so many secrets, there's so many like things I feel like that are gonna come out soon that we don't really know about, that just has me so excited. And then maybe it'll make sense for why some of these things that have been kind of foreshadowed, have been shown in the beginning, are going to make sense. But yeah, they do like Micho said, they do like to play around with like the symbolisms and like and all that. So
and I want to say, by the way, though, not to spoil it, but something happens with Hero obviously in the newest episode, and I'm thinking that's like a metamorphosis for his character, because they show at one point a butterfly getting devoured by a spider. I'm like, you guys are gonna do that, aren't you? Right? Okay,
but like I love doing things like that. Like like you could just sit and watch the show, right, and just maybe you don't pick up on certain things, but when you pick up on something and you'll get to thinking and get to like I think it makes it a lot more enjoyable. At least
I agree
with you,
100%.
So,
I mean, I've seen the first episode of Darling in the Franxx. I haven't really seen enough to actually give my general impressions on it, but from what I saw, I thought it was all right. I thought it was all right. I like the what are they even calling it? The girl, not 02, but like what she is, like a
Paris? No, they're not called. They're called parasites, or no? They're called
No, like how she is technically
Klaxosaur?
the dinosaur. Yeah, the Klaxosaur.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like that whole fight that ensued with that thing that entered their base or whatever, wherever they were staying at. I liked how that was going about, and the music was good, so I'm digging it. But it's all right so far. I just have to see more of it, so I can't really give an overall judgment on.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna change people's minds of Mecha. Like if you're going into it thinking it's gonna be something really outlandishly different from Mecha, it may or may not. You know, it's one of those shows that I think if you're a Trigger fan, you'll love Dawn of the Franxx. If you are not, you will have some trepidations with it, where you'll like some elements of it, but you'll want to push to the side because it's Trigger.
And then there's a lot of those.
Pictures done a lot. It's still Trigger.
Yeah, there's a lot of those people like I know who've already kind of fell off or can't get behind because
it's too sexual because
yeah,
dude,
like
you're watching anime. If you're watching anime and to say the line it's too sexual,
right?
I have to look at you and wonder what anime have you actually seen because there's a lot worse out there.
Yeah, like I find it funny. I don't know because some of the lines like they use, like especially what was it in episode 3, like do you want to ride with me or whatever?
Oh
like,
my god,
ride on me.
You want to
and
ride
then
me?
and then in the newest episode, like, are you trying to suck Hero dry? I was like, yo, like this is great.
There's a lot of symbolism.
This is fucking great.
It's just a coming of age story
Sure
of,
it is, man.
adolescents becoming adults.
Where was that shit in my life when I was younger? I don't remember giant mechs and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I know, but that's what makes it anime. That's what makes it anime.
Just joking.
That's what makes it anime.
But yeah, I'm excited for more of what's to come with Darling in the Franxx. Obviously, it's gonna be 2 cores, so we still have a lot to get into, a lot to watch. So.
Which is good. I mean, it's doing some good shit right now.
I like it so far, and I wouldn't be surprised if it pulled like a Gurren Lagann on us and like killed off like a main character like in the next couple episodes. So look out for that.
Dude, I still think I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, but isn't Hero the main?
Hero's like the main guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's not gonna die.
But Trigger has done with that. What
if 02? What if something was to happen to 02?
Dude, I think.
And then they go with the whole. And then they go with the whole Ichigo and Hero thing.
I hope not. I don't like Ichigo.
Hey.
She's so normal.
Hey.
She's so normal.
I don't know. Who knows?
Hey.
All right.
What's the next one?
Is Citrus.
Yuri.
Yeah, Yuri.
What's the title of the show?
Incarnate.
Yuri.
Yeah, nice.
Born to make history. I was watching ice skating the other day. I was thinking that the whole watching it. I was thinking of Yuri on Ice. I'm like, oh god.
But Citrus, haven't seen it. I know what is wrong with me. Why not see 2 girls get it on?
Yeah, you were all.
Come on, what am I doing?
Yeah, come on, man.
You know,
like at the beginning of the season, I remember you were like,
"Oh,
I'm gonna watch this one."
It's okay, Miles. It's okay, brother. It's okay.
Dude, I've been busy with Gintama, man.
You're really. I'm being honest.
I still actually had to make a video today.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Citrus isn't bad. It's a lot better. I think we were all talking about this earlier. It's a lot better than what we expected it to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew from the manga fans, and I read the first manga for a long time ago, but I knew from the manga fans, Citrus is considered like the best freaking thing that like ever came out.
Yuri, yeah, the best.
Especially when it first came out.
Right?
I think that I understand why people see it that way, and I definitely can see it getting more and more dramatic as time goes by. I sometimes feel it really relies on melodrama. It really does. But
it is a Yuri.
Right, and it's but it's like I wish certain things would be different about it, but I do see why Citrus is liked, and I do think it's actually not too bad. Animation wise is good. The voice actors and actresses
I like
are good.
The music in it too.
Yeah, the music is actually very form fitting.
Yeah. And here's like what you said. Like I thought this was gonna turn out a lot worse for me. Like I didn't think I was gonna be.
I thought it was fan service.
I didn't think it was gonna be. I was gonna make it 6 episodes into the show, to be completely honest. But you can tell that they do care about like, actually building the relationship in each character, like Yuzu and Mei, and I did,
Mei.
It wasn't necessarily Mei. Like it wasn't about like. Them just making out all the time, or
But the beginning.
It's a lot more. It's a lot more serious in certain points, and I like that. I like that it's not just some like we've had a few. I remember that the one Yuri show or whatever that it was like Valkyrie Drive Mermaid. Yeah, that's what it was. Which was just pure, ass and titties in your face, like all the time. Like it's not like that. Like it's actual serious relationship that they want you to take seriously. They want you to come to like each of these characters, and then when they come together, they want you to like that.
You
know,
get that awe
relationship.
feeling, like ah.
Yeah, and you know, with what May,
it's a good sign.
With what May's been going through, right, and with her family and being away from her father, and you know, Yuzu coming to be there not only as like a lover per se, but as like a family member, as an actual sister.
Trying to blend,
she's actually there for her, like, you know, in a supportive kind of way. So, you know, that's good to see.
That's one thing I liked about Yuzu from the beginning. Yuzu's character is probably my favorite so far of the show, just because, you know, this girl is introduced as a delinquent. She's introduced as a gal, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But you know, she really doesn't do all of that, and she might be seen cliche because of it, where she's not really you know, delinquent per se, but at the same token, she has really, as the series progressed, been the strongest character, going from moment to moment trying to be closer to May, you know, even forsaking her own relationship because she wants May to be happy first and foremost as her sister, not just as a lover or anything like that. And that's why I do like Citrus. I think, like I said before, the melodrama with Citrus, it goes back and forth sometimes where, you know, there are times where they get closer, then further apart, then closer, then further apart. And I do have issues with that. But overall, Citrus is actually pretty enjoyable. I like it.
A lot better.
I heard this new girl that's introduced is supposed to be like the saving grace for the show, apparently.
I don't know about her yet. I don't know about her yet.
No, I mean, like, legit, all the comments I had were telling me, best girl's incoming.
Oh, God.
Best girl. I'm like, oh,
really?
God. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing from people nonstop. So I'm thinking that it could be interesting.
Well, we'll see. Oh, so yeah, Citrus, all right so far, I'd say.
I might watch it sometime. We'll see.
Aldrich Nation, speaking of watching Seven Deadly Sins, we are going to talk about that in a couple seconds. Don't worry. We still got one more before that, though.
Yeah, well, we got.
No, he said seven heavenly virtues.
Oh, I thought he was talking. Oh, I thought he was
Which is that one?
Oh, that's the one with the females, right? Never mind. We ain't talking about that.
He got you, man.
Damn. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're not really.
What are we talking next, Memory?
So next up, Death March.
About next, man?
Death March to the Parallel World Rap.
All right, hold on. Let me say something.
Okay, I'll let you say first.
What did I say? What did I say?
Wait.
What did I say that Death March was gonna be?
I'm gonna be devil's advocate. I'm gonna be devil's
What did I say?
No, let me be devil's advocate real fast. Let me take.
Oh, the newest episode was
No. Let me tell you something. The very first episode, I have not gotten so pissed off at a first episode ever before, because they legit make this dude from level 1 to 310, and it's all because of a random act of using a magic spell,
meteor shower.
Hey. And they don't show the fact, like, apparently light novel readers, that's why they love the first episode so much, you know, of the first novel, is because they don't show the fact that he killed the elder god, he killed all these, like,
the dragon army and like fucking whoever else.
If they would have shown that, I would have been like, okay, I kind of understand. It would have been funny a little bit, but they didn't do that. So the first episode, Death March, I was with Miles. I'm like, this show is going to be garbage. I'm going to freaking hate this show.
Yeah, because you just think he kills all those, like, level 50, whatever the hell they were. Not like some Dragon King and a Dragon Army. And
it pissed me off something fierce, man. But it has gotten better. And I
agree. I agree.
From episode 2 now.
Look at Miles.
Miles, I'm telling you, man. It's gotten better.
It has. No, I agree with Aaron, actually. Like, it has gotten a little better. Now, I'm not really a big fan. Well, I knew it was going to be like this. You know, he has a harem, pretty much. But
yeah, of slaves, which is weird, but
yeah, like, and he's a little too call the lolies on him, but it has gotten better. It has gotten better. We've got more explanation on why he's actually the way he is, or like his level and all that. And also in the newest episode, they go into like the whole like there's a difference between being reincarnated into this world and then actually being like transported to this world. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they actually, you know, are touching on something like that, because apparently, like, when you die, or like I think it was when you die, you can get reincarnated, but then you start as what, like a baby?
You start from like beginning.
Yeah,
you're a baby, then you grow up.
Yeah.
If you get special
you
summoned,
grow up in the world.
If you get special summoned, you're considered a hero. You get almost like Konosuba, where you get a special ability or a wish granted to you prior to going to that world.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are, I think there's one other one that they explained apparently where it's like another version of being summoned where you could just be summoned because God directly put you in that world.
Yeah, and he's like, God, I haven't met any God.
Right, which shows that he's not any of the three that they showed.
Yeah. So he's like some kind of exception. So
now, but I have enjoyed, like, I think it was when they showed him going through the dungeon itself. I legit thought, oh, he's just gonna kill everything one hit. It's gonna be. He actually struggled a little bit. And it wasn't because he didn't level his things up strong enough, but the more so he wanted to make sure that his party got leveled up. And if you play any MMO or any RPG for that matter, you know the fundamental thing is to never have one party member stronger than everyone else in the group. You have to like spread out the points and make sure that everyone's getting equal amounts of love and care. Otherwise, your whole party later sucks. So I give that credit. I do.
Mm-hmm.
And Death March does simple things like that it actually makes, like, for example, when he has all the titles appear on him and he's like, oh, here I am, you know, I can do poker face. Here,
I'm this, that. I got that. I got this. Like, when did I get that? This, what, huh?
Right.
Who, where, what am I?
But I kind of like that. I kind of hate how they gave him so many, but I kind of like also that he has those abilities. So it reminds me of Skyrim in many ways, or even like any RPG that's similar to that. But you know, Death March, it blew me away because I hated the first episode and I'm actually enjoying this series now.
I do like
Sword Art Online.
No,
I
do.
No.
I do like,
Even
and
Mitro
said this, like, he's saying it's a comfy adventure with the OP Lord and his lowly family, but like I actually do like the adventure. Yeah, I actually do like the adventure aspect of it though. Like it is like. It's more of like a slice of life type of adventure in this world. Now, like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't like the smartphone anime kind of like that too. It was
that's just hard.
Or they actually try to focus on the fights because I thought that one was more about like the adventure sort of like, gaining people in your party and adventuring. Really, that's what it was. But like with Death March, they're kind of doing the same thing, and I think it's working a lot better than what I watched of Smartphone. But Smartphone's like like lower tier, like it's pretty bad.
Smartphone. The only thing I liked about Smartphone, the only thing, and it's something I think anyone that's watched it or at least fans it will agree, kind of, is that at least him being overpowered makes sense in the beginning because God did that to him. God felt so bad that he just killed this random dude. He's like, listen, I will give you anything you want, and I'll make you super OP. You'll never have a problem in your life. I'll give you my phone number. You can call me up anytime you have problems. So he does do that.
God or homies,
dude. No, he does that. He calls and during the series, he calls up, right? And but at least that makes sense. Like, oh, okay, well, he's overpowered. Death March just pissed me off initially because of the way they did that. But with people who read the light novels, like they said that there's things not shown and all that, they skipped a lot of stuff. But I do think it's better than Smartphone. Like,
and Death March does do the little things that I appreciate, like the whole the map in the corner, the little game in-game sort of pop-ups and all that. I think someone said that in the chat. Micho said that. Yeah, he likes the implication of actual game mechanics. Like, yeah, like they actually have that in there, like. The titles, the certain
you can upgrade stuff,
outfits, upgrades, all that, like the map, just like the game sort of layout of it. Like you can see that's there. Like, and they they keep doing it. It's not like they do it once or twice and then go away from it or anything like that, or not show it again. Like they actually make that a thing. So what the hell was that? 'Cause that's a copyright strike. No, I'm just kidding. But Death March, I mean, after that first episode, I was like, oh no, this is looking like a one, I'm going to drop probably after episode 2 or 3.
I felt you with that, yeah.
And, it's progressively got, better and better. Now, has it been has it got from here to here? No, it's just kind of started down here and it's been like little by little, making its way up. So
right. I mean, hey, listen, that's better than what, because I mean, legit, it went from hell to somewhere else that's not hell.
Yeah, like you're slowly inching your way out of hell.
Yeah, it's getting
there. I mean,
in Miles' world, it's still in hell.
A little bit.
I mean, listen,
just burn the main character.
I won't give anyone shit for disliking Death March because it is really
yeah. Well,
okay, hold on. Let me ask you guys a question though. All right, so
So, all right, there's this image that I've been seeing floating around on Twitter of this death march, and I don't know if it's just me, but is the main character freaking getting smacked on by a loli?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, why?
Like,
why?
She has psychic powers, man.
Why?
Yeah,
He didn't want it, man. She put herself onto him.
Dude,
yeah,
right. Dude,
no, he was asleep. No, dude, seriously, he was asleep, and she actually manipulated him to have basically start having sex with him. Yeah, because she has that power.
Sex?
They were going to. She was on top of him. She was riding him, dude.
Look at Miles. He's mind
They were close. Dude, at one point, I love that he's like, oh, listen, I need to ask you questions. She's like, okay, my breast sizes, and then I'm like, oh my God.
She's pretty entertaining.
I like her as a character.
Yeah. Some of it was a little too much for me, but for the most part, she's pretty entertaining.
And here, by the way, in case you're one of those, you like lolis, but you also want them to be legal. She technically is like in her 50s, most likely, because they allude to the fact that she died when she was older in the real world. And she's been in this world now for like 15 years or something like that. So she realistically is fine, right?
No.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I hate this.
All right, let's move along. Death March is okay.
It's okay. Just, if you want to watch it, fine. If you don't, skip it. It's okay. Trust me, you're not missing much.
Right.
7 deadly sins.
Yeah, there we go. Not the 7 heavenly virtues. We're talking about.
Shut up, man.
We're talking about 7 deadly sins, season 2.
Are you satisfied?
Yeah.
All you guys.
Yo, 7 deadly sins.
What do you think, Miles?
Okay, here's the thing about 7 deadly sins. Okay, and I was actually talking to Blake about this earlier, but I like the 7 deadly sins. I like the series. I do. Okay. Season 1 was fantastic. Season 2, I like it. I do like it, but the pacing to season 2 just feels very off to me. A lot of things seem to be happening way too quickly.
Well, with like the revival of the commandments, because weren't they revived in like episode 1?
That,
was
also,
it episode 2?
The sun.
It's not just that, but like also some events that play out and just kind of just seem to happen. Like it's like if you just go back and re-watch season 2, like just go watch episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 again. Like I think you can kind of see where I'm coming from because the pacing is just it just feels odd to me. It doesn't feel as good as it was in season 1. And from what I talked about Blake said like they at least adapted 100 chapters.
Season 1 did have a lot of
very quickly.
Yeah.
Season
1 had a lot of problems with the adaptation apparently.
Yeah, and season 2 I don't think they really fixed upon it. Like I love 7 deadly sins, but there is just some things seem to happen way too fast, and then some things seem to end way too fast, and it just, like especially when it comes down to episode 1 threw out a lot of the revival of the sins and other informations and stuff like that. It just feels out of place sometimes, like in my personal viewing experience with it.
I can see where you're coming from a little bit. Like I wasn't expecting the commandments to be revived so soon. I thought there was going to be some kind of like build up to it, but I mean they did.
Let me know talked about that, by the way. Not to interrupt you guys, but let me know said if did you guys watch the Signs of a Holy War?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. It
kind of was like
that's the OVA series.
Yeah, that's
right?
the OVA. Kind of like.
I might have seen a couple.
Really, the last OVA, if I remember correctly, the 4th one is really what is the most important, I'd say, for season 2, because that's like the whole thing where you see Dreyfus and like Hendrickson. I think it is at the end of the 4th OVA. I could be wrong. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I think it was the last OVA going into season 2. But that was kind of like they patched some of the things that I guess they didn't cover or get to in season 1. Now, I still don't know why Netflix promoted that as season 2, but yeah.
Probably confusion on that part, most likely. I mean, it's Netflix. So.
Yeah.
They were learning still anime. They were still learning.
Right.
Speaking about Netflix, anybody want us to talk about Devilman Crybaby? Let us know in the comments. Anyway.
Why'd you do it? Let us know in the comments. Okay.
But
ahead,
yeah. I mean, I'm liking this second season so far. Now, I like what they have done with Gother so far. Now, I was kind of pissed for, just the way Gother's been acting so far in this season. But then we get I'm not gonna spoil it, but we get like a pretty huge reveal with Gother and like his, actually what he is. So now it's pretty, yeah. It's understandable why he is the way he is and why he's been the way he is like this whole time, throughout the first season and in the beginning part of this second season, and I like where they're going with it now. I like what they've done with Bond and King. Going back, it's just not really a good time for the Sins right now because Bond and King are away. The whole thing with Gother, their forces have been kind of diminished right now. So like this is what I've been saying. Like this would be the perfect time for the Commandments to attack them. And now, there's actually one of them showing up. Now what's going to be the outcome of that fight? I have not watched the newest episode yet, but it's not looking too good for the Sins because they're they have 3 of their members essentially out of the action, out of the fighting, unless Gother can do something in the form he's in or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, Miles, in the whole pacing thing. It does feel like some certain events are taking place pretty quickly. But we'll see where they continue to go with this second season. I mean,
like
you're an anime only. You're an anime only. Yeah. I'm an anime only. So I mean, it's kind of like we don't know. Are they sticking to the source material? Like, what are they doing with it? Is it too fast paced? Is it what's going on? We don't really know. So that's like a good thing and kind of like a bad thing about being an anime only. Sometimes. Yeah,
so. like I said, I love the 7 Deadly Sins. I think it's great. It's just the pacing just feels very off in season 2. I don't know why.
Yeah, and now we got power levels and like.
Yeah, it's like why? Who cares? Like who cares? I just want to see the anime. Don't give me these numbers like Meliodas has like.
Because then it's gonna turn to Dragon Ball. Then it's gonna turn to Dragon Ball like with that, and it's gonna be like, how did he go from this to this?
And also that changes over time as they power up and go into demon form or whatever, which we'll eventually see, by the way. But anyway, but I mean, let's be honest. We've already seen it in season 1. So, But
I mean, it would make sense to why, like, because obviously we know if you've watched the 7 Deadly Sins season 1, which pretty sure most of us have. This is not really a spoiler. I mean, if you haven't watched it yet, it's kind of your own fault, Aaron. Sorry. But
damn. Yeah, Aaron. Just
but like Meliodas, I'm just sitting here being quiet, man. I was hoping you would have mentioned me, but but no, like Meliodas has like the demon-esque form. His face like lights up purple the same way the Commandments does. So this makes you like. Was Meliodas once a part of the Commandments or something like that? That's why maybe the leader of the Commandments knows Meliodas. And maybe Meliodas tried to like, leave the Commandments or, wanted to break off and do his own thing because he wasn't for what the Commandments were for anymore. Like, like, I think we're going to get more of that hopefully in this season. I'm not sure because, that's something I've always wanted to get more on, this actual, the origins or so of the Meliodas, his form and all that. So yeah, so far, I mean, I'm liking it still. I'm liking the second season.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
This is gonna be 2 core, thank goodness. I was kind of afraid it was only going to be 1, but yeah, we're getting more Taizai, which is great. So yeah, I'm excited to see what this this second season has in store for us. So yeah.
Just slow down the pacing just a little bit.
All right. By the way, I put this in. I realized I put it in, but I forgot. I think Nate, are you watching Karakai Juzu no Takagi-san?
Oh yeah, skilled teaser Takagi-san. Yeah.
Are you watching? Okay, I'm not watching it at all.
I don't think Miles is either. It's really just like
passable or no?
Yeah, I'd say it's passable. Really, just main girl is always teasing main guy. Takagi's awesome. Like, she's just very sinister. She knows how to get at this dude. And this dude just, you could tell he likes her. He's into her a whole lot. And he always is falling for her tricks. And when he thinks, oh, I have something up my sleeve, Takagi always turns it around on him. And, it never works out for the main dude. But I think, that's the whole elementary school thing or middle school thing, whatever you want to say. Like, if you're teasing someone, usually it means you like them. Like, that was the whole thing. Like, and that's why I think, Takagi has a thing for main boy has a thing for Takagi. Now, is it going to turn into an actual relationship? I don't know, but that's really the series, what it's been so far. Girl teases guy tries to get back at girl, he can't get back at girl because the girl's just too smart, too sinister, whatever you want to say. But I love Takagi. Takagi's like an awesome female character.
Okay.
So yeah, that'll just pretty much say what that with that series.
Next
It's
up.
okay. It's okay so far.
Next up, A Place Further Than the Universe.
Oh yeah!
I've only seen the first episode for this, by the way. I don't know
one of my favorites.
The first episode so far. I've only seen the first one.
I've seen. Well, I'm not caught up actually, but I think there's 6 episodes out right now, right?
Yeah, I think
5 or
so.
6. Yeah.
I think I've only seen 4, so I got like about 2 more.
I'm the only one caught up.
But A Place Further Than the Universe, I really enjoy it. I
like the first episode a lot from what I saw.
It's just one of those shows that you could just chill.
Yeah. There's a lot. By the way, people are.
There are some emotional moments in it, though, man. I don't know if you could just straight chill like that, but.
No, I could chill with it. I'm just like chilling. I'm like turn it on. I'll turn on Crunchyroll. I'll be like, yo, Place Further.
It'd be funny, by the way, you turn off your monitor somehow. Like, oops.
Wait, you can turn on Crunchyroll with my phone? What?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn on Crunchyroll right now and put Place Further Than the Universe on. And I'm just seeing these girls having fun and trying to, get their dreams going. They have these dreams.
Dude, you like what this like pelvic
thrust? It's fun. No, it's one of the. In my opinion,
like this. I'm like, whoa, what are you
in my opinion, Miles, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but this is definitely one of the better shows of the winter. Like probably in my top 3, top 5.
Yeah, I would say so. Like I just said, it's a show that you can just chill on, and it kind of has a nostalgic feeling to it as well, as well.
Like the characters are so fun. Like individually they're awesome, but then when they all come together, it's just like it's so great to follow them, right? And I mean, they're going
I was gonna ask you guys.
They're going to Antarctica. Like,
yeah.
No, I haven't watched any anime where anybody's went to Antarctica. So like I just find that so cool, right? What'd you say?
I said no one lives in Antarctica except for scientists, and they don't even live there technically for more than like.
Well, these girls are going there, man.
They're
gonna go and see penguins and eat shaved ice and.
By the way, here's a question: do you actually think they'll make it there though? I feel like they won't make it there. I hate to say it. They'll get close.
No, they're gonna make it there. It's in the opening. They're literally there.
Dude, it's the openings. How many times have openings lied to us and showed us shit?
They're not fucking lying to us. Shut up.
They're going to Antarctica. They're gonna make snow cones.
I'll write the story if they don't.
But no, it is. It's an awesome series. I'm loving it so far.
They're just girls chasing their dreams, man.
Really, they are. They want to get out of this normal, boring ass life. I just go to school. I go to school every day. I go to my job every day. Like, why don't you go out and do something different and follow your fucking dreams? Like, I wish I could have done that in high school.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, memory. That's what I'm talking about.
I wish I could have left for like a couple days or a week or something and just went to fucking Antarctica. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, or somewhere like Australia, like Australia, or some crazy fucking place like that. Like the only.
That's why I say it's nostalgic. That's why. I say
like really Disney World is the best place I've been. Like, come on, man. Like, I have to do more than that, right? Like, there has to be more to life than this, right? There has to be more than life than waking up, going to your job, coming home, eating, sleeping. There has to be more to life, right? Like, you guys know what I'm saying.
Get laid, get paid, Gatorade, okay? Anyway.
No, but you gotta respect these girls for following their dreams. I love it. I'm loving this series. I love. There's not much to say, negatively about this series. And there's also the whole little subplot with Shirase and her parents. Like, or is her mom here or her parents here? Like, what's going on with her parents? Like, right? There's that whole subplot that I think a lot of people are forgetting about, because that's the whole reason why she really wants to go here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And also, I gotta say right now, A Place Further Than the Universe probably has one of top contender OPs of the season.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the OP is really good.
The OP is very good. I love it. It's very, very colorful.
Dude, memory for president, man.
Yes.
Alder Nation, memory for president.
Please.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, like I mean, come on.
Open your eyes.
How many people, at least attempt to follow their dreams?
No, that's true. That's a very true statement. Yeah.
I mean, I give these girls credits, man. I mean, or at least the girl, the first girl, I forget her name, that originally wanted to go to Antarctica. Everyone else is just kind of like going for the ride,
Yeah.
But this girl, she worked day in, day out, going to school, you know, taking up a job or two, and trying to at least get enough money, you know, so that way she can go to Antarctica. You know, not many people, you know,
stick to that. Can
do
stick
their
to that.
best to, you know,
Right.
because everybody will be like, you know, I got bills to pay, blah 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 blah. But it's like, are you willing to put in the work?
Well,
are you willing to put in
I
the
don't think
work?
I'm thinking about bills yet, but.
But no, you get my point. I'm making a statement.
I'm only being
yeah, it's just like it just. It's
but dude, I'm not
motivated.
I'm not a president, man.
These little goals are motivating me, man.
I feel like I can go out and do fucking anything now.
I think I can do anything.
Miles, drop down and give us 100 right now. Drop down, give us a. Yeah, yeah. Let's go.
2,
3, 4, 5,
6.
Yeah!
Wow.
Woo! Wow! Donate memory right now for that. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you know, but all honesty, from the first episode, the one thing I agree with it
we are
is
fucking
that
idiots.
it is really, yeah, we are idiots. All of us are. But it is a show that really does show something that we don't see very often in anime, where it has people going for something that, you know, how often do you see that with shows? That they're going for what they want. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know how I'm being impeached, by the way, because I'm not president. I don't want to be president, but no, I agree with you. That it's something for me so far. I like the first episode. Was it? What day is this place for the universe?
Tuesday.
Air? It's Tuesday.
Oh no,
I think it was.
Is it Tuesday? Yeah, it is Tuesday.
I think it was because I was doing something. I had my interview that day that it started messing me up, and then I had all this other shit started happening. So I'm gonna catch up though. I do want to watch.
You should definitely catch up. This is like. Yes. I think you would really love this show. Like,
oh no, I love the first episode. It's just completely off track with everything else. That's what happened. I was planning on reviewing the whole show. I was like, but
only on I love how see Professor Anime do push-ups.
right.
Yes.
I love how it's directed though. I'm there's a lot to like about the show.
Dude, I would love to rule the world penguins, by the way. Okay, that's a good. That's a good statement.
All right, we're gonna move along now to the next show.
That would be good.
Next up we have is another one, man. Another one that has just blown me away with this season. Love is like after the rain.
Let me preach this. Let me preach for this. Okay. Let me tell you something. Okay. When I first episode, Love is like the rain. I remember I said it's kind of creepy that this girl is 17 years old liking a dude that's 45 years old.
Yeah.
It's really taboo. But after like the first episode,
but it's okay.
I became a believer of the show. Anime. I want those two to hook up. I am praying that those two hook up. Like, you don't know. I go to sleep at night. I go, please God, let the anime creators get these two together. It has to be the case because Akira Tachibana is, for me, best girl of the fucking season.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
100%.
Best
it's her 02.
02 is like close second. I mean, she's like right there on her.
Yeah.
But Akira Tachibana, this girl goes up to a dude and tells her, I like you. I'm not fucking joking. I like you. Okay? When are we dating?
She's not no little puss. Like,
what?
I maybe like
what? I have never seen a stronger girl do that in a show before. Legit. I fucking love that. And I love every character. I hate for a passion that one dude, though, that tried to almost derail Akira. That pissed me off. You know what I'm talking about, Nate.
Yeah, yes,
I want to beat the shit out of a character.
Yes.
If I can go into that anime world for 2 seconds, I just legit.
We saw him in the newest episode. I was like, God, get him off the damn screen. Like, get him out of here.
I almost feel like they knew that he was going to be hated, by the way, because they legit like threw him in there for 2 seconds and then he went, nah.
But they use him like that. They use him as, you know, how society would act or how society would view. But he took it way too further than he had to. I think like I don't think most of society would act like that, like following her around everywhere and just yo, go on a date with me and I won't say anything. Like,
you know, it is a huge age gap. We're not talking about like 5-10 years. We're
like he's old enough to be her dad,
right? And they make that statement. He's what, like 30-something years older.
He's 45
than her technically, right? No, I know he's 45, but
he's almost 30 years older than her,
right? And that is a big gap. I don't think people realize that's a huge gap.
He has a son,
right? You know, it is weird. Well, you didn't know that?
What is wrong with this show?
Dude, no, it is beautiful, man. I'm telling you.
It is so beautiful because it shows the first time I think I've ever seen a girl try so hard to make
She definitely doesn't act like she's 17.
No.
The guy has a son!
Right, well,
where's the wife?
Listen.
He's
got
divorced
undressed in his house before, it's okay. Anyway.
He's gonna take that so out of context.
That's the whole point of that.
Yeah,
so
I
wanted
know.
to take that out of context. You know, like something spilled on her, and you know, he just gave her one of her shirts, and she just got nude in it. No, just kidding. But no, seriously though, you know, I am loving. Like, if you want romance, which studio? They never like disappoint me with romance anymore. I love, like, for example,
and what they're doing with
Bride.
Ancient Magus Bride, yeah.
Right. That's, you know, we're not gonna talk too much about that, but that's a great show too in its own right. But Love Is Like After the Rain has to be one of my favorite romances I've seen in a while. Because
and you've watched a ton of romance. Like me personally, I have not watched.
Romance is my genre.
Yeah, I have not watched too many romance, but this one right here, like, I'm just so hooked on this show.
Every episode, man.
I love the two main characters, Akira Tachibana and Kondo. Like,
Kondo.
The I don't know. It's just like the age thing is like the last thing in my mind now. Like,
it goes away.
Yeah.
Like, after you see how hard she tries for this dude, that goes away. You don't even think about it anymore. It's like, oh,
I don't think about it anymore, really.
Right.
I mean,
dude, it's a great show. It's a great show.
It is great. It is great.
It is probably one of my, for me, it's one of my favorites of the season. To be honest.
It's really like
If
that
we're not
whole
calling
thing,
sequels
like, you know, yeah, the age, right? How is, you know, normal society, most people in society going to take it? Like, Akira said it. She said it. Like, that doesn't matter to me. None of that matters to me. I don't care about the age. I don't care what other people think. I don't care, you know, what the people at work think or anything like that. She's just like, I just want to be with you. I like you. And I mean, if say this person likes this person and this person likes this person,
I like you.
Then if that's, you know, them, then that's them. You know, screw what everyone else says.
Dude,
that's
right,
what really
exactly.
Akira's.
I agree with that. Romance is something that is defined by no one. It's something that if you love someone, what the fuck, go for it.
Right.
Don't be afraid of age gaps or gender, all that stuff. Listen, I'm a religious guy, and I'm saying that. Okay.
Except if you're a little child.
That's a little weird, an age gap. If it's like going downward, that is where you go.
Like,
to
she's
jail,
about to
and then
turn
you
18.
go to prison.
She's about to turn
Then you
18,
deserve to be
and in
prison.
Japan, I don't know what is the age of consent.
13.
Oh, okay.
Technically.
So I mean, obviously to us, like, it'd probably be. Well, I don't know if it'd be much better if she was 18, but like,
no, it wouldn't change anything.
Yeah, I know, but
yeah,
because most people are gonna view it as like, what the hell anyway. But I mean, that's just not even the. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I thought it would. And I was kind of like this, you know, at the beginning of the series, but now it's just like that's just over my head, like, you know, out of there.
Listen, as someone who considers romance their favorite genre, okay, that means I'm very picky with romance. I've seen a shit ton of. I haven't seen all of them, but I've seen a shit ton of romance. You need to watch Love Is Like After the Rain. It is a great fucking show. Don't worry about the taboo concept of it. You won't even think about that beyond episode 1.
Yeah.
Once you see Akira Tachibana go into
you're gonna fall in love with her.
Yeah. Once you see how she acts, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I need that as my wife.
I bet there's 45, 50-year-old men watching this show that are like, damn, I want her.
And then you made it weird.
All right. Well, let's go to Encore now.
I'm just fucking around. I'm just fucking.
But no, definitely check it out.
But yeah, like Nick Victory Fire said, you know, the animation, the art, the music is incredible. The opening and endings are probably my favorite combination of the season. It's either that or Kokkoku for me, to be honest. But yeah, Kokkoku, loving it. You know, Miles still has to. I don't know if he is gonna catch up or whatever, but yeah.
For Kokkoku?
No, for Love Is Like After the Rain.
Oh, I mean, I might watch at some point. You guys will probably.
But just judging from your reactions, you just like.
You'll see past it.
I mean, I'll give it a shot, but
you'll see past it. Just trust me, you'll see past it. It's
I think
weird.
you'd like it though.
But you guys know me in romance. Romance is not really serious.
No, I know, but it's got that psychological trauma. No, it doesn't.
Shut up.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Kokkoku.
Now, the debut sort of TV series from Geno, because they did work on
from Genos
Studio. From
Genos.
No, they did.
One Punch Man made this.
God.
I drew a lot of arms.
Oh, nice.
I drew a lot of arms.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh.
Nice.
That-
Nice arms.
Anyway, go ahead.
But
Those are some
yeah, the
good-looking
debut
arms.
TV animation series from Geno Studio. They did work on Genocidal Oregon. You know, Man Globe went bankrupt. They picked it up.
Can we not talk about Genocide Oregon? Like, I still need to finish it. I don't like
But
it.
they're also working on Golden Kamui, which is coming in the spring. I'm extremely excited for that. But Kokkoku, honestly, another kind of surprise for me for this season. You know.
Yeah, I was very surprised by it.
Now, of course, we've had a lot of shows that deal with like time manipulation and whatnot. Like we have Steins Gate coming back in the spring, and there's just been a lot of shows like that where they deal with altering time. But the thing about Kokkoku, the thing about yo, we should tell them about what I did at the beginning before we went live when my headset flew off my head.
Oh, yeah,
I was singing that song. I'm gonna upload the clip. I'm gonna upload the clip because I have it recorded.
Good.
Oh, do you?
Good.
Oh,
Good. Awesome. I'm so
yeah,
happy
because I
right
started recording even before we went live. I just wanted to make sure everything was
now.
alright.
I'm so happy now.
Like zoom in. And
That'll
just
be
have
in part
background
5.
music.
But yeah, Kokkoku, you know, like I was saying, we've had a lot of shows with time manipulation. This one though, when time is stopped, when we see
You enter the
everything
world of
stopped.
stasis.
Yeah, there's a whole other world inside of where time is stopped, and I love that about that. There's other people that at first they think they're the only ones who can really move in this, but then they come across other people who can move in the time the world where time is stopped, and they're like, "What the hell? Like what's going on here?" And just with each episode, we've got more and more reveals regarding the world and this the beings. Well, I should say beings now because at first we
The
thought it was
herald
just
slash harbingers.
yeah,
or
well, we
whatever.
just called it.
Handlers.
We just thought it was one at first, but now we know that there's, of course, there could be multiple ones.
Right.
So we continue to get more revelations and reveals just around the handlers or the herald or whatever you want to say, and the world just in general with each episode. And I like how they're doing it. Like every episode, it seems that it leaves off with like a crazy cliffhanger.
Yeah. And they also give you a little bit more of information. Like they don't flood you with, oh, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, this is no. It's like they give you bite size of things because, like, for example, I've actually watched this with my dad. When he gets time off, I usually watch it with him, and he's actually he's following everything, which for him, anime sometimes could be very like out there and outlandish. So he has problems sometimes with that, which is understandable. I mean, if you don't watch anime all the time, some shows are a little too much. But he's following what's going on, and that shows because they're not doing that in a stupid way. They're actually going bit by bit. And I love that no one person has the answer. If you notice, how often is that? Like, I thought, oh, it's going to be the old man's going to start talking about this whole thing.
Nobody knows everything.
Detail.
Like, the old man's even learned certain things about this world, right?
Like,
and this
like,
Majima girl has
powers.
too. And the Sagawa dude, or whoever the hell he is.
And none of the powers are like, oh, they work so perfectly. Like, for example, his teleportation, where he grabs someone, he can teleport around. He can't choose where he lands. He goes and flies off and is 10 feet away, or I could
see him perfecting it. Maybe I don't know if it's always going to be like that, or if he'll come to actually perfect the ability or whatnot. But yeah.
I don't think he's going to. I think the only one that's going to actually perfect her ability is is what's her name?
Juri.
Juri. She's the only one I think that has like an ounce of perfecting her powers because she's able to activate them whenever she wants now. It seems like.
Yeah. But
there's a lot
I think
of
it's
stuff that's cool.
I think it's like it's a great. I wouldn't even say it's like a horror series, is it?
No, it's not horror. No.
I don't know if it's classified as one. It's more like a thriller. I'd say like a psychological
thriller.
Yeah.
I would say thriller.
Although it's not like too crazy on like the psychological aspects. I feel that's just my opinion though.
It's good though.
I
like it.
But I like it. Definitely one of the surprises. I know a lot of people are hooked on the opening for it, and like I said, with Love Is Like After the Rain, this one,
what's weird?
This one and Love Is Like After the Rain probably have the best two OP-ED combinations of the season, and that's something a lot of people are into.
What'd you say, Mouse?
I was just gonna say. I was gonna say my unpopular opinion. That
my unpopular opinion.
What my voice is that back?
I think it's good now.
Okay. Am I good?
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, good now?
All right, you're good now.
There you go.
Okay.
Don't ask questions, folks. Don't ask questions, please don't.
I was gonna say that my unpopular opinion is that I actually watched the OP, and personally, I'm not
You don't like the
That
song?
impressed?
Oh,
What? I thought it was I thought it was I. It's nothing like that really gets me like going or anything, but
No,
yeah.
listen, music's subjective.
I
No,
think
don't
I
go
think
there.
for their debut project though, I think Geno
It's
Studios.
very fucking
yeah,
good.
yeah.
It's no
And
Zeta
it
for their
definitely
debut project.
has me really pumped for what they're gonna do with Golden Kamuy.
Do you actually want to know what I like more? The Junji Ito Obi.
Do you really?
I do.
I don't think
I
it's
do.
that great. I think it's okay.
I like that one, and then also, you stop.
And
I think
did
he's
you mute
muted.
yourself? I think you muted
What?
yourself.
You're-
Oh, there you
oh,
go.
there you go.
You like for a second that completely.
They're
cut
telling
out.
you to burn and rot and die.
Good.
Understandable. No, it's-
See, Neko-chan says it's okay though. See, Neko-chan's got my back.
So yeah,
Let's go back
Kokkoku, one of the surprises of the season for sure. I'm liking
definitely.
it. Excited to see where it goes and how it ends off for the second half of the series. 'Cause we're halfway through it, I believe now. So
All right, let's move on because we are like halfway through this list. And we're onto
yeah, this is
Hour
gonna be
and a
like
half.
3 hours long at this pace.
well, some of these we're gonna like go really fast though, because not all of them we have to go into super amounts of details. Like for example, Fate Extra, that's only got 3 episodes out right now.
Yeah,
Um,
because it started really late.
I've only seen the first 2 because today I haven't seen the third one. I like it.
Red
think it's very
Saber,
good.
boy, yes.
Red Saber is freaking gorgeous. I love her.
Yes.
She's definitely top 3 girls.
Yeah,
of
there's
the
really
season.
not much to say really about
Yeah,
it.
so
I mean,
we
it's
really
another
can't
It's
talk
another
about too much.
fate.
It's another
It's another
fate.
fate.
I do like how
Yeah,
they're in like
right.
this virtual world. It's they're trying to
It's
spice it up.
It's a good
change it
way
up
to
a little
make all the characters show up somehow.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're using a lot.
Because I
of
mean, we saw
They're just-
Rin. Rin's back. Shinji's back. So
They're just milking it and milking and milking and milking.
money.
Yeah, essentially, that's Type Moon though.
Money.
Type Moon knows that like, hey, we're making money.
I like it though. I
don't care what you do.
I find it pretty enjoyable. It has the whole Shaft touch there. Obviously, Shaft is animating it, but
dude,
I mean, we got the head tilts. We got just the way it's shot and composed, and
Right.
it's Shaft. And
so far it's good.
it's good.
so
I
far.
like it. Very enjoyable.
Right.
Another fake
It's Shaft.
series.
I mean, it wants its audience to take the shaft. So.
Right.
It wants its audience to take the shot.
The voice.
His
made
voice.
that even worse. That's so much worse.
And Yumu. Yumu. There you
Do
go.
I have
I
to
will
leave again?
Dude, the sub I watched
Sorry.
today for the new Fate Extra episode had a Yumu counter in the corner.
Did it really?
Yes.
That sounds fucking amazing.
It had a Yumu counter in the
That
corner.
sounds-
I'm just like, wait, I thought this was the same. I thought this was the episode I watched last week from the same translators, but I guess it wasn't.
because they know now. But yeah, we'll talk more. I think about Fate Extra when it gets more. I want to say
More
towards the
episodes,
complete-
yeah. Because
we-
I mean, there's
when we do the end wrap up thing.
yeah. Because obviously we'll have a lot more to say. It won't be done at that point, but
There's not enough really to talk
unless
about. Right now.
it's gonna be only 10 or 11 episodes. I don't know what they plan for it because it started so late. But
I'm gonna presume. I have a feeling Watch this could be like either 10 or 12, but only because typically that's what Shaft does. Shaft does a very small amount with a lot of
yeah,
shows.
they could they could have just like an 8-episode run.
Right.
Like who the hell knows, really?
Now, I want to talk about the next show. I think we all want to talk about the next show.
Ah man,
Pop Team Epic.
I'm gonna be
I'm
honest.
not caught up. I'm
I-
not caught up, but I've seen a couple.
Pop Team. Go ahead.
I can't really get into this, man. I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna have to go beat the shit out of you. So where you live again? Don't
I
worry, I'm
mean,
gonna-
yeah. Like there's some parts of it that I find funny because, whether I know what they're parroting or
Referencing
not.
or, yeah, do that your name.
Usually that's when I laugh more, I enjoy more. But most of this stuff that they're parroting, I'm just like, what the hell are they? I don't know what this is from.
well, you know what surprises me, and it shows the age I think of the creator, is that they're referencing stuff from Wacky Racers. Which Wacky Racers, that was in the last episode. They had a thing where they were racing and they had the guy blurred out completely. That came out in the '60s. So I'm like, what? And then they had an Android Kikaider reference. I'm like, what?
Well, it's not
Holy
just
crap.
It's not just old stuff though. They
No,
they
they're
reference
referencing everything.
Berserk. They reference
Yeah.
Dude, I love
Skyrim.
Your Name, for example. I know they're
Yeah,
referencing a
Your
lot
Name.
of stuff. Typical MMOs. They reference that at times already. But I will say though, Pop Team Epic is a show that I can understand why people
It's
think
like
it's not funny.
50-50 for me.
I know, and I feel like that's almost perfect way of analogizing the episodes themselves, because if you think about it, it's weird because it's 24 minutes, but half of it's really just a recap of what happened again. It just redoes it again, but with male voices or female voices. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like if you get 90% of these references, they make it so much better, because a lot of these references are from games that are like obscure as hell. They had a reference to a game that I'm like, what? What is that? What is that, Miles?
It's another arm.
Another arm.
It's another arm.
No, but and I will say, I don't care what anyone says. For me, my opening of the season, definitely Pop Team Epic. I love Pop Team Epic's opening. What?
Nothing.
What, man? What do you want to say to me,
yeah,
man?
like I said, Pop Team Epic's like a 50-50 for me. Like I found some things pretty funny, and then I just can't really get into a lot of the other comedy, which is that's comedy in general.
Yeah,
there's gonna be some things you find funny, some things you don't find funny. So
right, and I listen. I'm not saying every episode's funny. Like I think it was episode 3 was me just sitting there going, oh, like once or twice, but
especially like, for example, when it comes to like comedy-based series like Gintama.
Your voice, bro.
My going black again.
Yo.
There you go. For now, you're fine.
I'm just not gonna talk.
Yeah.
Even if it goes like that, just keep talking, man. Don't worry. You're still quality. It's
I don't know why it's doing that. It's Discord. It's definitely Discord, because my mic does not normally do this.
Yeah, that's how we're doing this. So yeah. But yeah, Pop Team Epic. We can go past it. Beyond that, it's a show that's definitely comedy subjective. You like it, you hate it. You're middle ground with it. It's understandable.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of a show that's very middle ground, maybe even below middle ground, Beatless. Does anyone want to talk about Beatless? Can we just skip?
I'm conflicted.
Let's skip that.
It's not bad. No, listen. I'll say this way. It's not bad. There's some nice symbolism with the whole androids and the concepts of what it constitutes as humanity, what constitutes having soul.
Right.
But at the same time, it's nothing I haven't seen.
They're not doing. They're not.
Sci-fi.
I don't know. It's just like. It has potential.
It's there.
It has potential, but they're like these first few episodes, especially with what the first episode introduced and set up, and then in the second episode we go and they're like, whatever the hell they were doing, they were like eating cake, or she was like some model or whatever the hell it was.
Dude.
She was modeling the whole episode. I'm like, wait, hold on. Episode 1
model to
like
android capable.
It's just like I don't know. They're not really going anywhere with the story right now, and there is potential there with it, right? And this world, and just
hidden there.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, it is 2 core, so they do have some time to some episodes.
They have a
to work
recap
with.
already.
Yeah, and they have a recap coming in the next episode. Which
what?
How?
What?
I don't know if it's for the Olympics or something.
No, I just think it's because they just want to do a recap already. Like, they're fucking terrified. People are forgetting what's happening for some reason. Like, I don't know how you could be forgetting what's happening. Androids in a world, and humanity's like getting pushed to the side because androids are taking over at certain points. And
yeah, it's
typical
okay.
shit.
It's
really like meh.
It's like it's like painfully average. It's like painfully.
I do like the opening though. The opening's good.
Yeah, Gardenalia.
Yeah.
Gardenalia
it does.
great.
The images don't make fucking sense. Like they're just randomized image. Like, hey, just throw stuff from the show, whatever. But it's actually fun.
Yeah, that's like kind of the Fate Extra Last Encore opening. Like the song's great, but the visuals don't. The visuals don't really match the.
It kind of there's
it
a
doesn't
reason
flow
for that,
really. I don't know.
I think there's a reason for that because it's the world of having so much shit happening. I think that's why they do that. But Beatless is just like, hey, put someone there. All right. Who has watched Grand Senki? Like Grand Crest Senki, excuse me. I have not. What?
No.
I have.
Okay, so
that's Memory, because Memory watches everything.
Yeah, it's pretty.
They've watched it more than me this season, I think. Yeah.
It's pretty. Meh.
Okay.
To be honest, I mean, really.
Is Grand Crest?
I don't know. I've been told that the adaptation is, they're actually staying to it for the most part, but it's so fast paced because, in the first episode, you have main guy who teams up with the girl, and he's pretty much he teams up with this girl, and he goes from place to place, and he acquires these other people's like crests, and he has it's like 5 episodes in or something, and he already has like 3 or 4 crests. So in each episode, he's went and conquered someone's land. So they're kind of like they've been sticking to that lately. I hope it does. I hope it does get better, but it just kind of been.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's like it has potential. Like it's kind of like Beatless. Like it has potential to do a lot more, and I think be a lot better. But so far, it's like there's been some enjoyable moments, but also like I can't really get behind this story so well so far.
That's a good transition. It's a ramen anime too, not the one with the girl who loves ramen and loves the girl who loves ramen.
The Assassins one.
The assassin one.
Sweetless and Lightning.
What?
Wait, wrong anime. Never mind.
I'm trying to catch up with the ramen anime.
I'm watching the dub for it.
I'm gonna say this. I don't care what anyone says. It's not as good as Bungo Stray Dogs or Durarara. I've not even seen all Durarara, but I've seen it like half the first season. But I will say that
level.
It's not.
I see some of the similarities. Okay. I see some of the similarities, but
but there's a lot of shows like that have the similar concept.
It's not on. It's not really on that level.
It's okay. It's another show that if you pass it, it's okay. You're not missing much. Miles should be happy about this. Junji Ito, I'm very happy about
Junji Ito.
Yeah, like let me ask you a question, Miles, and this I want to go with this. How do you love Junji Ito right now? The collection. Or
I love it? I mean, okay, to me personally, I was actually gonna save this for a video, but I kind of tossed that video. I tossed that video aside, honestly.
What the hell is happening?
I don't know.
Is my voice again? Is it my voice again?
No, you're lagging.
Just completely froze. You want this?
Look at his face. Look at this.
All right,
there you go.
Yeah, you're fine now. Yeah.
Okay. Regarding my thoughts on Junji Ito, okay, yes. I like it, but at the same time, I don't like on how it's being presented. This is the thing. Okay, with Junji Ito, you have 2 stories being adapted. At least 2 stories per episode.
Not fully. By the way, not all stories have been fully adapted from 2. Some of them are like half adapted per episode.
Yeah, there's at least 2 stories being adapted per episode, and that to me is a problem because when there seems to be the suspense and tension that is being built up in one story, the execution to that story on how it finishes off with a climax, it just abruptly ends, I do not like it at all, and then it just leads up to the next story.
Did you see the newest episode?
Not this week's episode.
Okay. I'm telling you right now, it's completely the same issue I have with that, where it's actually one of my more favorite stories of that. And for a second, I thought Blake just joined out of nowhere. But anyways, seriously, it was weird because I saw his name pop up. But it was Junji Ito, like the story that this week episode had, it started off really strong, and then went, okay, we're not doing any ending for it. Let's go on to the next story. Which did, by the way, that actually had an ending. That was one of the few stories that ended. And what's annoying me about a lot of people who are fans of Junji Ito, listen, I love Junji Ito. I've read a decent majority of his works because horror is also one of my jams when it comes to things. Mm-hmm. But the way they're executing these episodes is so mad at me. The first episode they could have done with the second episode. That would have been a better start. The fact that like you just said, half these episodes switch from story to story without an actual conclusive ending, that's also an issue. Yeah. And overall, I mean, the animation's solid. I think the animation's fine. I love that it looks like Junji Ito's work, but in anime form, I think that's cool. It's just that it's not the best stories. I mean, I think they could have used a lot of other stories too.
This is an adaptation. If you want to get into Junji Ito, skip this adaptation.
You probably your best off.
This is not the best way to get invested into Junji Ito.
But they are going to spend 2 episodes on the one story, aren't they?
They are actually going to adapt Tomy.
Yeah, as an OVA.
Tomy's gonna go OVA.
They're going to adapt it, but it's going to be in OVAs.
Which, by the way, that scares me.
Which means that they probably can't show it on TV.
Well, because Tomy is probably the most, in terms of sexual content, it's probably the most sexual out of all of his works.
So maybe they're going to get more graphic with it.
Because Tomy herself is a succubus, And that's not, by the way, that's not a hidden thing. That like they tell you that right away.
Okay.
But you know how she does things is I'm not gonna spoil that in case you want to see that because it's crazy. But she's nude a lot in the manga.
Okay.
And that's why, and some of the stuff she does is also very sexual because he's a succubus. That makes sense. So I understand why they wouldn't want to put that on TV. But you know, there are so many of like Uzumaki, for example. They could have done that too. They could have had parts of it in the story, or they could have had some of the shorts like I forget what this the something crack, the fault line crack, which was a weird freaking story. There's a lot of stories they could have had from Junji Ito that are creepy, tension filled, short, and they could have put them in there. Instead, they went with stories that are like, okay. I mean,
that's kind of for me. Like some of the stories, like, and I haven't read any. So you guys have more knowledge on Junji Ito than I do. I'm just kind of going into this like, I've heard a lot about Junji Ito. I've heard a lot of his works are good, and as a horror manga artist and all that.
He's considered one of the best.
Yeah, some of these stories are like hit or miss for me. Like some of them I've liked quite a bit, and then there's a few of them that I'm like,
like, oh my god, you just want to cringe.
Like I could have no, this is me. Like I could have just watched the one story and been fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. If these episodes were dragged on a little bit more and went into detail a little bit more with the characters and also building up the tension. So for example, if the episodes were focused on one story solely, this adaptation probably could have actually been a little bit better, because I don't like on how there's two stories just kind of being intertwined with
because
each other.
then it creates it creates the whole thing where like one story you may care about, but then the other just like,
and you forget about it.
Because like, for episode like 3, for example, and I had a problem with this. Like, for example, I think it was episode 3 at least. The fashion model. I actually liked that a lot, and it was actually creepy and disturbing. I never considered Junji Ito's work to be scary, but
it's not meant to be scary. It's meant to be creepy.
It's meant to be creepy
unsettling.
and disturbing.
Yeah.
But then when it led into the other story though, which was the Long Dream, I was just kind of like, okay, like see, it just kind of ruins that suspense. Like it's like you get really excited and you're kind of creeped out a little bit from one story, but then all of a sudden
abruptly
the rest of the episode the rest of the episode just kind of dwindles down a little bit, and then you get out of the mood of the whole horror aspect of it,
No, and that's my biggest thing, because horror, besides even being subjective, it has to be, if you want to classify something as horror, it has to be something that really grips you and keeps you immersed to the point that when something happens, it sends you the chills down your spine, puts some type of tension in you, puts some type of creepy factor in you. And with Junji Ito, his works do that quite well, especially when you read them continuously, because they're continuous stories. Some of the stories that we see here are continuous stories. I've gone back and checked, and they are stories that go on longer. But because they've broken down sometimes into 12 minutes or 11 minutes of an episode, you lose the part of where, oh god, there's suspense, and then it just dies. And that's not good for anything. Any type of genre, you don't want to have a moment of extreme something and then just to completely, there he goes, it's gone. It loses the factor to it. And that's why it's my biggest issue with Junji Ito Collection. And I keep telling people that, because I'm getting a lot of flack with some of my reviews, because people are like, oh, you don't like Junji Ito Collection. Are you not a fan of his work? His work is always like this. Dude, how many times at the beginning of my reviews do I have to say I've read a decent amount? Almost all of them. Even the stuff that's not translated English. I've read like this stuff, the fan translations. And guess what? They're done better. I'm sorry. Junji Ito Collection is okay at best. I'm looking forward to seeing what other stories we have. I'm looking forward to seeing some conclusions to some of our stories. But there haven't been that many episodes that have done this thing where it's like, oh god, oh, whoa, except for that creepy episode with the holes in the skin. That shit sent goosebumps.
Yeah, that was pretty unsettling.
That was so nasty. And that actually ended. So I mean, that was just creepy.
And then also, when it comes to some of these stories, they appear more comedic in some aspects, like Soichi's story in episode 1. And then also, I found Slug Girl to be very stupid.
Like, and that they could have done like a Uzumaki version of that, where Slug Girl, I mean, I think was from not Uzumaki, but I think it was supposed to be a short story, like on the concept of Uzumaki.
Yeah.
But that was so fucking dumb, dude.
Yeah, I did not like that at all.
Became a
It
slag.
was a really weak story.
Or even like the doll in the beginning episode. Legit, like 3 minutes of an episode focused on a doll girl.
Yeah.
That what?
Yeah, I felt that the puppet one was actually starting to get
The
better.
puppet was
though.
good. Yeah, the puppet
Yeah.
one was good.
Yeah, memory.
That
I
ended-
think didn't like it. Though.
No, I liked the puppet one.
You like
Oh,
the
you
puppet
did?
one? Yeah.
I just thought I
The one
thought
before it, I think, was the oh, you're talking about the wool puppets or like the one that Shuichi? What's his name? I forgot his name already.
Suichi?
Yeah,
the
Shuichi.
one
yeah.
where the parents are in the house or whatever, but they all like everyone turns the puppets in the house. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's the puppet one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where his girlfriend gets killed.
Yeah, I like
by-
that one.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
That one was pretty
But-
good.
Yeah, overall, Junji Ito, I would first recommend checking out some of his works manga-wise, and then maybe
Yeah.
watching the anime, or even watch Geo. I mean, I know Geo gets a lot of bad rep, but we all watched Geo. We liked it.
Hmm
His best works are Tomi, Uzumaki, and Gyo. So just look at
Yeah.
those.
And then some of his shorts that you might want to read if you really love short stuff. The Chair, which he has one story. He also has the Fault Lines, like I said before.
I know Usama said Hellstar Remina. He mentioned that one.
That sounds familiar. I just don't know if I know off the top of my head.
I'm not sure.
I know a lot of the titles. I know the Sirens did. It was good. And this is like, and then there's the one with like he had Mummy. I forget the name of it, but that was so disturbing where they keep reliving the same experience over and over again, and that was just disturbing as hell. But yeah, Junji Ito Collection, I would say first be sure to be knowing what you're going into. What that's not English. Make sure to know what you're going into first, and then go
Yeah.
into it.
All right. I think we can skip the next two and we'll just cover the last two if you guys want.
Gaku and Babies and How to Raise a Mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we could because Killing Bites is okay. The Lolicon with Shoji. Shoji. There's
I
stuff I,
dropped
like
it.
about the show.
I
but also
dropped
hate that show. I like the show and I also hate it at the same time watching.
I dropped
I like
it just
stupid comedy in it sometimes.
not
It's
because
fun.
I dropped it, not because I didn't, I thought there was some. I did like how they were actually, focusing on like the aspects of shogi, and they were actually, diving pretty, deep into it. But just
lollies.
yeah, that was
Everywhere.
really. I think it's just-
Everywhere.
yeah.
Anyway, all right. Let's.
Killing Bites though is it's entertaining. It's just really action
I
oriented.
didn't
A
really
lot of
dislike-
fan
I didn't
service.
really like it or dislike it. So
A lot of
I
fan
really watched
service,
it.
action. I mean, it's one of those like guilty pleasure type of shows. But I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
The story's not gonna be anything too mind blowing, but it is pretty cool what they're doing now. There's like this whole like battle royale, between
Right.
the
The
brutes.
furries.
So yeah.
That's by the way, that's the one Usama said. Enigma of the Magari Fault. That's the one that's really disturbing too, where people like
No,
hear
he's
voices
just
and-
rattling them off now.
No, that's fine. Listen, I love that story. It's really good.
Yeah.
But Gaku and Babysitter, we can actually put both these together. How to Raise a Mummy and Gaku and
Because they're both
Babysitter.
kind of the
They're cutest.
They're just really
incarnate.
adorable.
If you don't watch either one of them and you go then you're not gonna like them. But for me, like I told people, if I did live reactions to them, please don't do live reactions. I'm not going to. I would legit be going, oh my god, because I legit do that while watching the show.
Dude,
I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh,
Like I know you're watching
no."
How to Keep a Mummy. I'm not watching that one, but I'm watching Gaku and Babysitters, and
I'm watching some of it too. Gaku and
there's
Babysitter.
just
I'm
been
like,
there's been so many scenes in Gaku and Babysitters where I'm just like, oh my gosh, like some of the cutest things, dude. Like they have like the name train and all that, and then
Oh my god,
and
little baby.
I don't know.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, I don't know if you watched one of the newer episodes.
That's why I don't do live
I think it was episode 4, episode 5. But they literally have like this fart train
Aww.
where they're all like
A
where they're
fart
where they're all like farting.
They're all kids though. They're like
It's so funny, dude. They're like
kindergarten kids.
Miles. They're like toddlers, bro. They're like
Yeah, that's,
They're, like,
one
really
of them is
young.
legit a baby, you know. And then How to Raise a Mummy, I'm loving just because it's so cute to see. You think it's so weird at first, but then you watch the little mummy getting raised and like
Yeah, they're
them trying to
just-
figure out
they're
how to
just,
take
like,
care
really
of them. Oh my god, all the little
precious.
characters, right?
they're like really
Are they-
precious, like heartwarming.
Right, they're not
funny
amazing
stories.
shows. Like, don't get me wrong, these aren't shows that are like, oh my god, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. They're shows that are good. That's
Right.
about it. If you like cute stuff, they're freaking amazing. I love cute stuff, so they're amazing for me. But I'm not gonna say they're the best thing. No, you don't want me to let my kawaii weebness come out because legitimately, they know because they've lived through it. But how I react when I watch Gaku and Babysitters or How to Raise a Mummy, it scares me.
It's literally like. It's literally...
and I feel for real because I understand that is painful, but you have to understand that is legit my mindset with cute stuff. I love cute things, so it's like, oh my god, I'm like, oh, it's so cool. That's what I do. I'm not bullshitting. That's not like over exaggeration. That's what I do. Okay, so no. If you follow me on Twitter, if you want, you'll see me react every episode I watch these shows because I'm like, oh my god, adorable scene. I'm scared of myself sometimes. Anyways.
Yeah, we're gonna move into the questions part of
if you guys have any questions,
we're only gonna do a few because this has been going on
lightning
quite a bit.
round.
I know
Usama
had a question. Usama had a question where he asked like kind of what's our plan for like kind of the future of AniBrigade. I know Aaron said something to him like in the chat, but
I said this is what we're doing right now. Have fun.
Yeah, like really, we're not like we've talked about this before. Like we're not like really pressed to like do these. Like we're not gonna be like, oh, we're gonna do it every Sunday at like whatever time. It's really like, obviously we're gonna give you a heads up in advance for when we're doing them. It's just like, we're not gonna be like, say if we can't do one, say next week, then we're not gonna be like all frustrated and like how the Otaku A-Team was. Like there was like, it didn't really work out towards the end of that. Yeah, we're really just doing these when we can, covering what topics we really want. We got
too serious with the Otaku A-Team. That was like our biggest thing is that it became more of a job and a business than, and that's not what we want. We didn't want to do that initially with the Otaku A-Team, and I think that's a question that we've had a lot of people ask us on Twitter too. With what happened with the Otaku A-Team? It's not that we all hate each other or had problems like that. No, it's just that we got busy first and foremost. I mean, we're all adults.
Yeah.
But even more so, it's just it got so to the point that we were trying to be on every freaking time schedule, doing every questions like this, doing this. It lost the enjoyment out of it. It became a job. So that's why, maybe we're gone for a month. Well, hopefully not all the time, but we'll be gone sometimes a couple of weeks. But we'll come back, and I think you guys like what we're doing so far. So there you go.
Yeah. So and really, we're just gonna talk about certain topics like what's going on and
oh my god.
like. It could be just a hot topic going on in the community or something. Like we'll talk about those things. So it's kind of going to be some of the same like concepts. Like we're going to talk about certain topics, talk about certain shows or whatever the case may be. We do eventually want to have like a one of those spoiler castings because we've always like talked about those, but we never really have done them. So I think that would be something. That'd be something cool to do in the future.
That would be cool. I agree with you.
We'd actually have to like plan it out and stick to it. Right. So
first question, by the way, from Garo the Hero. Question: will Professor Anime watch more seasons?
Professor,
I already explained why I'm not really doing as many seasonal stuff as before. I already kind of explained that in another video and also on Twitter. But I mean, in terms of like me watching more seasonal stuff,
he's waiting for the spring. He's conserving his energy for the spring.
Right.
Probably, honestly, probably because winter.
Summer, man, it's gonna take a lot of us,
The winter season.
There's gonna be a lot of birds falling in the spring, boys. We're gonna lose like half the anime community. Everyone's gonna be gassed.
But
dude, I'm legit like.
But the winter season is always kind of like that chill season. For me at least, because like there's good shows, but it's like it's mainly something that really isn't something that I particularly worry about with a season. Yeah, high priority or whatever. Yeah. But the spring season, there's a lot of good stuff that are coming out. So honestly, I can see myself. Oh yeah, I will. No shame.
He's gonna have Steins Gate discussion videos up every week.
Greatness.
Yeah.
And then you also got.
You're getting me hype, man.
Is that FLCO coming out?
Summer.
Summer.
2 and 3. 2 and 3 are coming in the summer.
Right, but you also got Boku no Hero. What else do you coming out? Tokyo Ghoul. Yeah. Even I mean, obviously, like Tokyo Ghoul anime is kind of like 50-50 with me right now. I'm excited for it because of it's more Tokyo Ghoul as a fan of the manga, but at the same time because of how I know the fact on how Studio Period's gonna handle it. I'm just kind of like, ugh. But yeah. Anyway, will I watch more seasonal stuff? Most likely next season.
Neko-chan has our second and final question, I think. How do you guys feel about AICO anime coming out from Netflix?
Yes.
I have no idea what that's. What is that?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Studio Bones original.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you guys have saw any of the previews or any of the visuals
Nope.
yet from it.
I
It
didn't know
looks
about that.
absolutely incredible. Or is it by
Netflix-
Bones? Or no, it might be by Production IG.
Netflix in general,
It's
like I
one of
know
the
people
two.
are worried.
Oh
about
no,
them
it is Bones.
but
It is Bones.
you know, I want to put. I think I want to put rest to people who are worried about Netflix having a lot of anime out with stuff. You got to realize Netflix, unlike Amazon strike and stuff like they've been doing movies and TV shows and stuff that's been simuldubbed or released right away. They've been doing that for a lot longer. So I mean, they have an idea of how to release things correctly, rather than Amazon strike, you know, doing the horrible things it was doing in the
Which
past.
we don't got to worry about them anymore.
Right, thank God for that. You know, that's praise be to God. But legitimately, you know, it's a good thing because
Yeah.
Netflix has money and they also have the power to release from pretty decent shit. I mean, I just saw like it's not anime, but I saw the Cloverfield Paradox,
Yeah.
and that was all produced by Netflix. Dude, like the majority of it was, and oh my God, that movie was fucking amazing. Like it was a regular movie, but I was blown away by the fact that that was coming from Netflix of all things. So they got money. That's a good thing. Trust me. In anime world,
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
They can throw
Yeah,
money
we're
to these. If they can throw money to these companies to have their show on their platform, they'll do it. And
Yeah,
it seems
guess
like
what? And then in
it
turn,
seems like
they'll
they're
do it.
doing that quite a bit for a lot of shows for this year so far
As
already.
long as it
so-
makes the money in the process.
Right.
Money.
So I mean, Aldrich asked a question, but
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I skipped you.
if I punch myself and it hurts,
Oh,
does that
that
mean
question, yeah.
I'm too strong or too weak?
What
Well-
that means you are both.
Yeah, probably
you hit
means
yourself too hard.
a little bit of both.
Hey,
No,
Allie
no.
finished all the DXD. Let's give it up for her.
Very
man.
nice.
Hell yeah. Let's go. So
Good, Allie.
she's
good
gonna be.
job.
Miles still has to catch up, I think, too.
Yeah.
Miles, come on, man. Allie just did this. What are you doing?
She
man?
just started like a couple days ago, I think it was.
Yo, I just gotta say something though.
What?
I think her name is Sakano. Sakano.
Akino.
Oh, I thought it started with an S. Never mind. Akino.
No.
She's bae.
Akino is big, dude. That's one thing I'm also agree with. Akino is best girl. I don't care what. Ria's Kurumi is great too, but no, Akino.
Man,
She's willing to do stuff,
you
man.
guys.
She's willing to do stuff. You don't see Ria's willing to do things all the time.
You guys
Akino's
are,
willing to do anything.
Akino's
do not
number
remember-
We're
two.
into
Dude,
that. We're into the brunettes, man. We're into
Dude,
those brunettes.
Best scene ever. I'm sorry. Was the fact was like she was saying. I think they told Issei, hey, if you do this, Akino will date you. He's like, I don't think that she's really gonna fall for that. And she called up on the phone. Wait, he's gonna date me if I do what? Oh my! And then she like unleashes powerful thunder magic and destroys everything in the process. That's the power.
All right, really quick.
Calls
I
me
just gotta
shit, by
say
the way.
this right now.
Oh,
I gotta say this
whatever.
right now. We got about 22 people in the stream right now. If you guys want to see a karaoke stream, be sure to give this video a like, and let's get
Oh,
at least
God.
20 likes here.
Oh,
20
God.
likes. You can finally see Memory sing for the very first time. He can sing to you, nothing will be wrong. You know,
And then
it'll
everyone
be
can
good.
hate him for a
It'll
little
be
bit.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's
Yep.
not
Let's
do
get
that.
it, man.
Not do that.
It's gonna happen. It's inevitable.
It's gonna happen eventually.
Well, you know, we should do that one night. Like, just have a stupid podcast just surrounded by just us doing songs. Like, we take requests to do songs, and then we're like, "Oh my God, what have we done? We fucked up."
Well, hey, we got 18 likes. We got 18 likes.
Ni-
rolling.
19. Oh, God.
19 likes. Come on, Memory. Let's get it. Let's get it. Come on, one more.
What kind of goal
One
is
more.
that?
One more.
20, the easiest number to get to for us.
Let's
Oh,
see.
we
Even
got-
that
No,
much time.
that would no matter the like amount. That's something I think we do. You know,
Oh, we'll
No,
do
we probably do.
yeah. So
it. We'll do a good job.
that
of
about does it.
Probably
I'd
not.
say, guys.
But thank you, anyways.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta
Thanks
do
for
it.
showing your support, everyone. I know it's been a bit, but it was a good time to talk about the winter anime so far and our first impressions for him. So, yeah.
The AniBrigade will be back one day when we are good and fucking
Yes.
ready.
And I made more arms.
And Miles will keep making arms, and he'll make boobs.
Hold on. I made more
The
arms.
snack that smiles
And
back.
Go
Goldfish.
fish! And-
Yeah.
So, but be prepared, one and all. We will be back.
Oh, 20 likes!
We will be back. See you guys.
Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye.